What's going on? And today I'm gonna do something interesting. And I apologize for last week. I didn't do a video because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of changes, and a lot of work nonstop. So yeah, we are back on track. But in the meantime, I do have this thing. I do have something that I've been very patiently trying to figure out. And sorry, there's a baby right here. Very trying to figure out and to complete it in Resident Evil 7. But yeah, this is a project. This is one video that I've been trying to do for a long time, and I was trying to do it in the beginning of the year. And yeah, so yeah, these are my favorite games of all time. The top 10 favorite games of all time. And like I said, you might be disappointed that a lot of them are like what you think, but like I said, these are ones that I love to pop in anytime and day or night, either if I'm in an arcade or at a friend's house or somebody. They always have these games hooked up, and we are all willing to play them. So yeah, here it is, my top 10 favorite games of all time. Is that right, Carly? Yeah. So yeah, here we go with the one that I love the much, and I always play this in the arcade. Friends of mine, we do challenges. We get drunk and play this game. Galaga is one of those games that is so incredible and it's so addicting. And to me, this was actually a great moment where actually me and my wife actually got together. The day we got together, we were playing this all the time. And Dig Dug, like she loves Dig Dug, but every time I go to an arcade or a theater or something, I have to play it because come on, it's only a quarter. A quarter to sit there and shoot aliens. Now, a lot of people are going to be surprised on the next one because a lot of it is just like, why would you play this one? This is one of the worst games ever. It's not really one of the worst games ever. You have to understand, there's plenty of games that are bad, but this one, to me, I don't know what it is about me with this one, but this one is so fun and it's so addicting because it's a very challenging game. I mean, the whole plot of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is basically all you have to do is just trying to get to your wedding. I mean, maybe some of the villagers are pissed off, maybe because he probably slept with their sister, or the other one, they were just like, you know what, you said you promised me to you. I mean, there's like a lot of people that want to kill him, throw stuff at him, bombs, and it's like, I was like, this guy, I'm surprised that, once he got to the wedding, or he even called it off, because, but maybe because he is truly happy with who he's with, that he's like, you know what, I don't give a shit about any of these people. I really am just, I'm happy. I want to be with this woman. I'm like, these people are fucking up my day. I'm just like, I want to have a great wedding. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a story when they find out that, that I'm actually the monster. But maybe that is the whole point of it, is that he actually, that's why maybe people are killing him, because they're just like, we don't want another monster in this world. And maybe that they're all, that lady's friend, his wife. I mean, we don't know who the heck this wife is. I mean, wife is and what the name is, but all you have to do is just figure it out. I mean, it's just, everybody wants to kill him, but it's like, that's what makes this game so incredible. It's so addicting, and it's just a pace breaker. Next one on our list is one that I really love, and I didn't expect it to be out of all the RPGs that I would play, but I really put this one to the test, and I kind of, I like it. I mean, it has that horror, creepy element, but it has that kind of feel of a Christmas kind of story with it. So it's kind of like, A Nightmare on Elm Street, or not, sorry, A Nightmare Before Christmas, in a way, because it's like that Halloween kind of horror element mixed in the value of Christmas, and it just turns out so well, and it's just like, you really feel attached with these characters. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Final Fantasy characters, but they really turn the story around and just like you felt really happy with these. On our next one is Kingdom Hearts. Yes, the original Kingdom Hearts. I love playing this one all the time. This is one that, I don't get tired of. I pop this in anytime. I mean, it's a 30, 40 hour, RPG game, but, it is so addicting. I mean, it is so fun. I mean, and also the story is simple. I mean, it's not as chaotic as, as the series went on, but that's the thing about series is they literally go on for like so long, and you're just like it's going confusing, and like obviously there's backstories and prequels and all these other elements that you're just like, my god, is this story even gonna end? Or you're just like, it's confusing. And man, it's just like with Kingdom Hearts 3 around, out right now, and just the way it ended, it's just like, what, that, if they don't make any more Kingdom Hearts games after that, that is a perfect ending to a series. I mean, I'm not getting wrong, I'm not judging and saying like, oh, the rest of them suck, but it's just like going back to the original one with Donald and Goofy and Sora going on a crazy adventure. I was like, that is so fun. Our next one on the list is, something that I like to play. And when you have a bad day at work, you don't want to just like, I'm pissed off, I'm gonna go kill somebody or shoot somebody. It's like I'll pop in Street Fighter Alpha 2 anytime, because work is stressful sometimes, but sometimes you're like, what, I like the Street Fighter, and I've always been a Street Fighter fan. I'm not the greatest, but I love popping that in, playing it, having fun, bringing my wife in and playing it, getting my ass kicked by a friend of ours, because he's like, I know how to be I know how to be this. He's like a fucking master of fighting games, because I think he grew up on fighting a lot of fighting games, so he's like, he loves these. But I love playing it, and obviously my favorite character is Ryu, so of course I had the fun, blasting my way, doing Hadoukens and against Rose, and then doing all this crazy stuff to get to Akuma at the final end. And you know what? This game still holds up. Anything that I think involving 2D kind of games, they held up to this day, and it's really, really perfect. And that's what I like about them. It's just like they just keep going on. Our next one is probably the one that's the most iconic. It's like, hey, we go from a Capcom game to another Capcom game, and yeah, Mega Man X4. I did not expect this one to be one of my favorites. I really did. I mean, I've always liked the original Mega Man game, because yes, it was tough, but it gets you to it. It's like this one, I think, they were very heavily on telling story of Zero, but I think and during that era, Capcom was like doing some amazing stories out where it's like two different campaigns. And so it was just like, this is a hell of a game to slip in, pop in, and play all the time, because you do not know exactly what you're gonna do. I mean, it's just, the power-ups, and the simple. I mean, it's not as like, X, as you play X, you have to get all these power-ups. No, you just use special moves and kick your ass. I mean, like I said, Mega Man X4 was very influenced for Zero, and they really, really nailed it perfectly for him. Telling his backstory that he was actually Wily's final invention, like Dr. Light was Mr. X, but it's just like, that's what makes it more creepy. And I mean, it also has this very creepy kind of style with it, especially with Sigma going in there and actually seeing, seeing Zero before he's a fucking nutcase, and it has that kind of creepy goosebump atmosphere that I'm just like, I was just like, I fell in love the moment I played it. I mean, I did not play it until like, I want to say until recently, around last year, but with the Mega Man X collection. But I was just like, this is a fantastic game. I highly recommend playing this one. Our next one is one of my favorite ones, and yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, honestly, to me, Odyssey is right up there with it. It's starting to be, Odyssey is my favorite one, but I have to go back and then play Super Mario 3. This one, to me, is the best one out of the series, because it has multiple powers ups. I mean, it's multiple powers up, and you can switch between which one after you die. I mean, you can't just, I want to pause the menu and switch. No, that you have to like change it, and you have to know that pattern, and it's just like, throughout the whole game, when Peach gives you something throughout the whole game, those are perfectly patterns to get through the final area. I mean, if you want to really a challenge, you want to like do it yourself, or if you want to take some of those cheats, like special blocks, special clouds that you could skip certain areas using P power wings to like glide through it, so you don't have to skip. And I was like, that's all that footage. That's all that stuff for that, and it works 100% perfectly for what it's supposed to be. So it's like, in a way, it's like that's a smart idea. Like yeah, you could use them throughout the whole game and get extra items also, but it's just like that's brilliant idea of how to complete the game so fast, so you don't have to, you know you don't have to think. I mean, it could be the easiest thing ever. I mean, as I said, Mario games are very easy and you can pick up and go. That's what they're on the list is Resident Evil 2. Now, I did not expect this one to be one of my favorite ones. I mean, I see how people imagine that this is one of their favorite ones, but I've always been a fan of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I mean, I always loved the game because it just seemed like it was just a long chase, and Jill is going against this, fucking, big fucking nemesis that wants to kill all the stars. But, Resident Evil 2 kind of clicked on me, and kind of clicked on me like years later. I mean, I've always played it, and I never really got through it. And then when they were announcing that they were going to remake Resident Evil 2, I was like, you know what? I have to sit and play it. And I'm like, this is actually a pretty good game, and this, like, no wonder why fans adore this. This is one of their favorite ones ever. I mean, I can see how it is. I mean, with multiple stories, connecting both of the stories with multiple endings, and playing as Hunk and even playing as Tofu. I'm like, a piece of tofu. I'm just like, this got my attention. I'm like, I have to do this. And I was like, now I might not be a big fan of Claire's story, but you know what? I have to play it just to, unlock, Hunk and all this stuff, and do it under a certain time, which is fine by me, like, no problem, but I just have to do it. It's like, it is a fun one. Next one, oh my god, you know, I've had this game for so long, and I just never thought I would actually play it until recently. Like I said, I really fell in love with it. And it's just one of those, it's kind of like one of those, it's a very love story with vampires and all this stuff, but then it kind of was like, it always kind of reminded me of Twilight. It didn't that pop into my head about, like the lady when she wrote the book, she's like, oh, I had a dream about a vampire. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, right. She was sitting there, probably her boyfriend or her husband, I don't know who, was probably playing Castle, or maybe one of her nephews or anything, was probably sitting there playing Symphony of the Night. And she was like, you know what? This is such a great story between a teenager and a 300-year-old vampire named Alucard. So I was like, it's the nemesis for Twilight. There's like, they wrote that so perfectly. It's like the gameplay is perfect, everything matching up with this. It is one hell of a game, and I 100% recommend it. Now, next one in the grand finale, everybody knows about this game. This is one of my favorite games. It is one of the best, and in my opinion, I sit there and I sit there and play it all the time. I pop this because I love the stars. Like, even my wife is like, sometimes she's like, hey, let's play Metal Gear. I'm just like, fuck yeah, I'll pop this in anytime. It was just like, I'd have fun with it. It is one of those games that are so fun that it's just like, you sit there and watch the story. It's like, the story coming out. It's just like, it's like saying, oh, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's like, you pop it in, it's like, the story, the characters, you fall in love with everything. It is a strong story, and to me, I'm glad, I've experienced playing this game, because, hey, there used to be a big fat roster that I used to play, but nowadays, I'm just like, I don't go back to them, but like, I go back to this one anytime, like whenever I'm like, you know what, I want to play this. I mean, sometimes I might not complete the story, but I'll just pop it in and just have a little fun with it, and it never gets old. I mean, it might be a game that's about like 20 some years old, early 20s, but it still holds up to this day. Get past the blocky graphics and the no faces and all the jittery stuff, but it is one fun game, and I recommend playing that game. So yeah, it might be a shocker to all of you, but yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, very happy You happy to be on camera? Yeah, she loves the camera. She loves being on camera. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, a great night. Enjoy your day. Hopefully these games that you like, oh I like, they're some of my favorites, or some of them they're like, oh, I want to try that. And trust me, you can find a lot of these, especially the arcade ones that I told about, like Street Fighter and Galaga. Those are, you can play them anywhere. You can go to the theaters, arcades, wherever you can find them. I'm telling you, they will be there. So I say, once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and yeah, she's like, I want the camera. All right, bye bye. What you doing? You're like, pose for the camera. Yes. You're like, I'm out of here. Bye. Thank you for being here.